Just waiting for it to tell me I'm live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody from wherever in the world you are watching from. I did get permission from one of the admins to go live here. And for anybody who obviously right now, if you're just tuning in, watching the replay, I wanted to share with you major, massive key things that I have learned from being a survivor of this kind of abuse, and it seems to really help a lot of people. And this group literally saved my freaking life last year when I was just consumed with suicidal thoughts, right? We all know what is entailed being involved with a narcissist: the manipulation, the lies, the abuse, mental, emotional, physical, financial, you freaking name it. Nothing is off the table with these parasites. Having to break those trauma bonds, having to deal with the smear campaign, having to find the courage and the strength to go inside and really freaking heal yourself. And if you're someone who's on here who genuinely is a true empath, that is not effing easy. It is not. It is the fight of your freaking life. So I'll tell you real quick, as people are jumping on, please comment, say hello, interact with me. The whole reason I'm on here is to interact with you guys and share our experiences and how we healed and how we got through this. And then, I want to say there is life after death, because that's what a narcissist, they kill your effing soul. They are on a mission to destroy you, and they will not stop, right? So it's so effing important to understand what is so freaking effing beautiful about you, that they chose you, okay? And how to understand if you were discarded, it's not because something is wrong with you, okay? It's because there's nothing wrong with you. You're a beautiful, amazing, empathetic, caring, loving healer, right? That's the kind of people that they target. But I've noticed a lot of times this abuse that comes in is because we don't have boundaries, and we're afraid to say no, or we don't want to upset anybody, or we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or we think we can save them, we can heal them, we can love them to freaking life, right? No, there ain't a damn effing thing that you can do to help these people, okay? And then you go through that whole trying to break the trauma bonds, and then you go through the smear campaign, and then you go through having to start over most times with nothing. I know for me, I had to go to court and file a PFA. I was dirt freaking broke. I had to move. I had to relocate and pretty much go into hiding, and then start a new life from scratch, right? So if I can do it, anybody can freaking do it. One of the things, pain is such a motivational healer. Channel your pain not into beating yourself up and being in regret. I wasted so many years. I wasted so much time. I gave this POS so much freaking money. I don't channel your pain into yourself. Channel your pain as a effing motivation. The way I looked at this was I was married to two narcissists. My first marriage was with an overt narcissist. I was 20 years old. We met 2 months later. We got married. The very next day, I was a piece of property. My wife is not going to dress like that. My wife is not going to work. My wife this, my wife that. It was insane. 6 months later, we were divorced. Second narcissist, covert narcissist. I spent 15 years with this man. And then immediately leaving that and breaking away, guess who swooped in and swept me off my freaking feet? Another one. Okay, but we're all human, we go through this stuff. We don't know. I did not know what a narcissist was. I just thought I had an invisible magnet on my forehead that said I attract assholes. I attract broken people, right? And then one day I was at an Al-Anon meeting because the narcissist that I was involved with for the last 5 years, I thought he was an empath. I really did. I thought he was an empath who could not control his emotions and needed alcohol to manage that stuff. Well, one day I was in Al-Anon. Please share with me here how you discovered what a narcissist was. Because that's the first step. You really have to stomach and understand this is a personality disorder. They're not just freaking assholes. I was at an Al-Anon meeting and the woman was like, "You're not in love with an addict. You're in love with a narcissist." And I was like, "He does have a big ego. He's a show off." And she's like, "No, no, the personality disorder." She's like, "Go do some research." She's like, "Addicts have empathy, they have remorse. When they're clean, they do everything under the sun to make amends and apologize." And she's like, "Your guy doesn't do any of that, does he?" I'm like, "No." So, shit hit the fan and whatever. Here we are now. But I wanted to share with you guys some key concepts that really you have to learn how to stomach and absorb to get your strength to be able to go forward and create a super abundance, and I stress effing abundance filled life. Narcissist free, a life that you create on your freaking terms because you hold the freaking pen. Okay, it is your story, it is your life. You call the shots, you write the story. Okay, not that POS. Where was I going with that? Because I kind of got sidetracked a little bit. But yeah, how to just heal, right? So love bombing, the first sign. Yeah. Well, when you're someone who, like me, I discovered through all this that I am a recovering codependent empath. When I heard the term codependent, I just always thought that meant, someone was dependent on you financially. I had no idea codependency was rooted in never growing up in a household, your parents never training you that you're valuable, that your needs, your wants, your desires, you as a soul are somebody special. I never got freaking love. 45 years old, I can count on one hand the amount of times my mother said I love you, right? So if you're someone like that, you develop these coping mechanisms. And as you go through life and grow up, you feel the need to help toxic and manipulative people, and you sacrifice, you freaking kill yourself to help people. But you don't realize narcissists, and this scares the living F out of me, they are everywhere. Everywhere. We are constant. We live in a world full of demons that just want to latch onto you and suck the freaking life out of you, right? So let me get started as to why I wanted to jump on here and share some things with you. So if, because I got to stick to my notes here, because I was going to make a YouTube video on this. So let me start out by saying, if you are someone who was discarded, I know it hurts. Okay, we're all on this page. We all feel it, right? We freaking feel it. Know that nothing is wrong with you. There is not a damn single effing thing wrong with you. Okay, you were targeted because of your light and your power that you probably do not see, but you know who saw it? That freaking parasite. Right? And they saw that you were so giving and so loving, and you could take a freaking beating and keep on freaking ticking. You were groomed, okay? They saw that in you. They knew that. That's why you were targeted, okay? So if you were discarded, please understand and know there is not one single effing thing wrong with you, okay? Absorb here. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? That is the first thing you got to really understand, okay? I'm getting a little passionate here, right? So if you've been discarded, all right, know that there's nothing wrong with you. So there's one of two things. If you've been discarded, the reason why you were discarded, right, is because you started catching on to who they really were. Okay, the mask started to come off, whether it was your intuition telling you something ain't right, something ain't right, something ain't right, but you kept ignoring it, right? I did it too. Okay, I did it too. But you get discarded because you start to see who they really are, and you start to open your mouth and voice the pain. You get to a breaking point where you can't freaking take it no more, and you start establishing boundaries. This is what healthy freaking people do. Toxic people do not respect your boundaries. They don't give two flying F's about them. Okay, they want you to have none. So if you were discarded, hands high effing fives to you for starting to stand your ground and know your value and know your worth and put your freaking foot down. Okay. The second reason why you may have been discarded, and again, there is not one single effing thing wrong with you. Okay. The parasite sucked the freaking life out of your soul. And all of that love and care and time and attention and healing that you had to offer, they drained it out of you till you were completed, or not completed, depleted, right? So they feel like they got what they needed out of you, okay? They killed your soul. They freaking killed your soul. Do not let them do that to you. Allow the pain that you are experiencing to be that person who says, F you. You are not going to be the person who kills my life and destroys my future happiness because I opened my heart to you, okay? Channel your pain into some goal that you are so freaking hell-bent on achieving. Okay, it'll do so many wonders for your confidence, your self-worth. You'll be able to realize, holy freaking cow, this mother effer was preventing me from being happy and fulfilled and allowing my true freaking light to shine. Okay, so if you were discarded, take that as a sign that that was a freaking blessing for you. There is not a effing thing wrong with you. Okay. The second thing I wanted to go in, you were targeted for a reason, okay? And that reason is because you possess such amazing, beautiful, intelligent, heartfelt freaking light that they do not have. Okay, they saw most people I've noticed don't even know this about themselves because they've been so beaten down. And after so long of somebody telling you you're worthless, you're no good, you're ugly, you're never going to amount, we start to believe that, right? This is how they mess with your head, right? You were targeted. Who here has seen True Blood, the movie True Blood? Remember Suki, right? She had that light and all the vampires wanted her light. It's the same exact concept. They don't have it and they cannot survive without it. So they go around finding all these beautiful, heartfelt, giving souls that they can just, it's disgusting. It is freaking disgusting, right? So that is why you were targeted, because you are a beautiful, phenomenal, strong, wonderful, healing, guided light. Okay? That is why you were targeted. Okay. Yeah, they're completely dead inside. That's why they wind up hating you. Hating you. The person that you thought loved and adored you so freaking much can turn around and despise you and want to kill you and drive you to the point of suicide. That is why they hate you. Because even though you took that abuse, you're still ticking and you still have light and you still have beauty and you still have so much more to give to the world and give to yourself and give to your kids and give to your future. They don't know how to do that, okay? That is why they hate you, because they can't freaking kill you. They despise that. They tried so hard to rip you down and destroy you, and they couldn't. Don't let them do it, right? The other thing that really helped me on this journey, and it was a really hard pill to swallow, you can't help them. You can't. They will never change. You cannot give them enough sex, enough love, enough care, enough freaking money, enough of you. They were never going to change. That was a hard concept for me, and I'm sure like everybody else who's here. When you love somebody, right? I remember when I had to go to court because my narc, he came home and he hit me. I got freaking whacked in the face for catching him at the bar with another woman and then throwing a beer in his face and embarrassing him. Man, that was a blow to the freaking ego for him. But I remember being on the stand going for this protection from abuse order, and his lawyer asked, you waited a month to file for this PFA. Like, why would you wait a month? Why didn't you do it immediately? And my response to him was, when you love somebody, you will go to the ends of the earth to do everything you can to help them. Okay. When I realized I could not help this person, nobody can help them. That's when I realized my life was in danger. This person is never, ever, ever going to freaking change. There's no reasoning with them. There's no working things out. You're never going to be able to heal as long as they're involved in your life. You can't heal while that toxic, manipulative person is still sticking knives in your chest and in your back and sucking your resources out of you, okay? They're never going to freaking change. So being somebody who I spent 15 years with one narcissist, and I have children with this guy. So if you have children with this person, one of the things that I learned was the gray rock method. Okay, you want to be like that rock. Narcissists feed off your emotions and your expression, right? But if you put yourself as a dull, immovable, boring ass rock, put on your best freaking poker face, okay? Put on your survival poker face. They get bored. They get bored with you. And then they go bother somebody else or the new supply or whatever it is that they're freaking doing in their life. Business only. Kids, kid issues, and that is it. Okay? There is no talking about remember the past or remember, you cut them freaking off at the balls. Okay? And show no emotion, because what they're trying to do is trigger you or stick a knife in there and twist it. They're trying to get some kind of reaction out of you. If they can't get a reaction out of you, you're like plain Jane boring, and they go to somebody else who can give them, whether it's the intense crying and the fighting and the heartbreak and you breaking down, or the new supply who has no freaking idea who he is and she's building his freaking ego, right? They're never gonna change. The wiring in here is effed up. You can't love them back to life. You can't do nothing. It's out of your hands. Let it go. Freaking let it go. They're never going to change. Let me see. What else do I got here for you guys? The smear campaign. Oh, don't we all love this one, right? This sucks. Because a lot of times we wind up finding out people who we thought were our friends are really not our friends. Not only did we lose what felt like the love of our life, we lost our friendships. They take fucking everything from us. The smear campaign, if you're not familiar with what that terminology is, it's the trash, the shit talk. And you'll find out afterwards a lot of things that the smear campaign goes on while you're still with them. They're smearing your name while you are with them. Okay? So the whole time you've been together, this POS he's been conditioning them, right? Manipulating them too. Telling them that, oh, she's crazy. She looks all sweet and kind now, but believe me, when behind closed doors, she's a freaking psycho. She's controlling. She's this, she's that, right? Anybody who believes that, anybody who truly knows you and believes that, does not need to be in your life. As painful as it may be that these people that you were friends with, if they're believing that or justifying this douchebag's behavior, you can't be friends with them. One, you're never going to heal, right? Two, they're going to come back and tell you everything that narcissist is doing while you're trying to heal. And all that's going to do is suck you back into that trauma trigger, right? The third thing is that they're not your friends. They're not. They never were, right? Yeah. So, and even afterwards, oh my God, I got ants crawling all over me in the park. I discovered that even afterwards, the smear campaign, anybody who will listen to them, it's just, anybody who will listen to them, they will just spew hatred and spew lies. And it gets exhausting in the beginning when you feel like you have to you're on damage control, right? Forget the damage control. Let me tell you why, because this is how they set you up to where you look like the psycho. Nobody else knows the way you were gaslit and the abuse that you endured or what they did behind closed doors. And we all know, right? We're all human. You get to a certain point and you freaking crack and you break, and it all comes out for the whole freaking world to see it. That's when the narcissist is like, see, I told you she was freaking crazy. I told you she was nuts. I told you she wasn't right. You're not, the only thing that you're doing by trying to do damage control or bad mouthing the narcissist is verifying everything he was telling everybody about you that wasn't true, which was actually everything he was doing to you, right? Stop trying to defend yourself. You're going to exhaust yourself. Just stop. Evaluate who these people are who are very closely tied to that person. I guarantee it's anybody new that you would have met through them. You have to be okay with losing that friendship, losing that relationship, cutting ties. You have to go on social media, unfriend them all, and block them, okay? Because you do not want anybody who is tied to the narcissist to know anything. This is how you kill a narcissist: when they have no access to you and they don't know what's going on in your life. Cut them freaking off. So one of the things that I went and did is I unfriended everybody on social media who was friends with this person, and blocked them. Block them so they can't go on my page and see my new happy, healthy smile or anything. They can't see shit, right? Certain people, I did reach out to them and told them, look, you know, I'm sorry, please don't take this personally, but you're mutual friends with so-and-so, and I'm on this journey where I need to heal and distance myself. Some people were very respectable and understood that. Other people it pissed off. If they're pissed off that you're trying to heal yourself from the pain this piece of shit put you through, again, they're not your friend. They're not, right? I even went and blocked his family members. Everybody, because the second I decide to go on the Facebook yard sale site and start selling stuff to recuperate some of the money, that the piece of shit took from you, I don't want any of his friends to be able to see that, right? So you have to block everything, all ties, as hard as it freaking is. And I know in the beginning, you want to go back and you want to look, what is he doing? Who's he with? It's going to be another knife in the freaking chest. You're just asking for more freaking torture. Okay. So when it comes to the smear campaign, don't fight it. Keep your mouth shut, walk away. At some point, they will reveal themselves to other people through their internal actions. Okay. And this, like, now a year later, I'm hearing things on all kinds of things on how this person burned so many bridges and went off the deep end and they're freaking crazy. And you know why he went off the deep end and went crazy? Because you cut him off. You cut off all access, and he has no way to siphon your energy when the new supply or the other supply is no longer around. They will crack and they will freaking break. Okay. The other thing that, you got to make new friends. You do. You absolutely have to, and you should make new, healthy friends who see you as a soul, who see your value and see your worth and see your light and love you unconditionally, that are not out to destroy you. And then the other thing too with making new friends is you don't have to hear and regurgitate the stories. Remember when he did this, or remember when he did that, or I don't want to hear it. Don't freaking tell me. I don't want to remember shit, right? So when you develop new friendships, new people, new experiences, new healthy future stuff, right? Okay, smear campaign, trauma bonds. Okay, trauma bonds. Trauma bonds, I feel, are was the hardest thing to get through. As I wipe these bugs off me, right? It really, for anybody who's ever had addictions, right? It is like coming off of an addiction. You go through the withdrawal, you go through the cravings, you have those moments where you would give anything just to get that person back that you met in the beginning, right? all the love, all the whatever it is that they gave you. That's how they freaking hook you. They study you. They find out what your deepest desires are because they make you so comfortable that you open up to them. You are being studied so you can be manipulated and destroyed later, right? The person that you fell in love with was not them. This right here, what I'm going to tell you, please, I beg you, absorb this. And I feel like I want to cry saying this. This is what really helped me. You didn't fall in love with them. You fell in love with you. You fell in love with yourself. You know why? They mirrored you. They mirrored the kind of love that you have to give. What exactly it is that you have to give, they gave it to you. It wasn't them. You fell in love with the mirror version of yourself. Can you feel me on that one? Do you feel it? Yeah. You didn't fall in love with them. That whole thing was a big facade and a big freaking lie. And I know that's a hard freaking pill to swallow because it's hard to believe that there are people that freaking evil out there. There are. They're freaking everywhere. You fell in love with yourself. You fell in love with the mirror version of yourself. So as you're crying and as you're trying to break those bonds and as you want to give in and go back to them or just reach out to them, look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your own eyes. See the light, see the value, see the worth, see everything it is that you had to give, okay? Because all they did in the beginning to hook you, right? That's why we held on, just to get back what they gave us in the beginning. You fell in love with the mirror version of yourself. Yeah, you did. Trauma bonds are the fight of your freaking life. You literally have to fight for your life. Breaking those trauma bonds is like coming off of a hardcore addiction that nobody else is gonna understand unless they have been with a narcissist. You can't explain this kind of stuff, this chaos and this madness to somebody who's never experienced it. You can't. They will never get it. They won't feel it. They won't understand it. That is why this group last year saved my freaking life. And that is why I am on here right now sharing this with you. You got to break the addiction. So how do you break the addiction, right? As hard as it is, as you're in your head and in your heart, sitting there on the couch crying, laying in bed, knowing you shared a bed with them, this is their spot, this is their side, right? You have to physically move, physically do something, okay? You have to physically, physically get up and do something. Inject, like a freaking drug, a new kind of drug into yourself, okay? For me, I spend a lot of time outside in nature. This feels grounding and therapeutic to me. You have to create a new routine. And as hard as it is, you have to force yourself, like your effing life depends on it, to go create a new routine. It's hard. It ain't easy. It don't freaking happen like that, okay? It's something that happens over time. But the more you take that pain, use that pain to force you to not let that piece of shit suck your soul dry and push you to suicide, okay? Be like, you ain't gonna freaking win. You ain't gonna win. You wanna hurt the narcissist? Heal. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. That is what'll hurt them the most, right? Yeah, trauma bonds. Cut them off, block them. As hard as it is, yeah. Create new routines, find new hobbies, all the things that you ever, if you were to sit down right now and write out all the things that you ever wanted to do, right? What's on your bucket list? Even not even big bucket list stuff. Start small. Did you want to jog? Did you want to go for a walk? Did you want to do wine tasting? What are all the things that you wanted to do with that asshole that you never got to do? Okay? go do them, and don't be afraid to do them alone. Something else that I've learned on this journey, you have to be okay with doing things alone. Because if you're not, guess where your ass is? Sitting in bed freaking crying, feeling sorry, stuck in victim mode. Victim mode equals they won, they got you, they killed you, they took away your happiness. Channel that pain to get you off your ass and say, F you, watch me succeed, watch me be happy, watch me live the best, freaking happiest, healthy, abundance-filled freaking life that asshole will never, ever, ever have the pleasure to get to experience. How you like that one? That's a good one. Yeah, that's how you break the addiction. Another thing that I did is on my refrigerator, get a piece of paper, put it to the fridge. I even taped these things on my bedroom wall. Every single day, I even gave myself little cards, right? Every single day, I wrote down something that would empower myself. It might be anything from you're perfect and beautiful just the way you are. It might be it's just a day. This too shall pass. Give it a couple hours. Tomorrow's another day, right? Whatever works for you, whatever, and write it. I'm telling you, put it on the freaking refrigerator. So every morning when you go get your milk for your tea or your coffee or for the cereal for the kids, you see that. Every day, write something down that will empower you or remind you of just how freaking strong and beautiful and wonderful you are. Because remember, that is why they targeted you. So isn't it about time that you started realizing that about yourself? It'll boost your confidence. It'll give you something to remind yourself. Yeah, let me see here. What other notes? I feel like I want to give you more examples on self-love type practices. It's hard. Breaking the trauma bonds it ain't no freaking joke. This shit is real, and it will drive you to suicide and relapsing, going through the same freaking shit, right? I think when you've had enough pain and you've hit your break, when the fear of things not changing is more scary than the fear of unknown, you're ready to go. You're ready to cut ties and go forward with your life. Whoever's sending all the little hearts, thank you. I just feel so on fire because I lived this. I lived it. What else do I got for you? Oh, I was different things that I did to heal. Me personally, I'm a very spiritual person. I talk to dead people. That's what I do. So whatever your belief system is, whatever it is that makes you feel good, whatever it is that gives you that light at the end of the tunnel, take all that pain and visualize yourself getting on a motorcycle or a speedboat or whatever the freak it is, and see yourself, that pain being that force to shoot that rocket to your healing, okay? Channel that pain, channel that anger to get on that freaking bike and be your fuel. Pain can be your biggest freaking advocate when you're trying to break these freaking trauma bonds. Other things that I did when I was in a really good mood, I went to the dollar store and I got myself index cards and one of those cute little boxes. And one day when I was really feeling good, even I would go on Pinterest and I would write little notes to myself, right? I shit you not, there's days where I get up and I get out of bed and I will smack my own ass and I'll be like, you got this. Smack my own freaking ass. Whatever, it's fuel, right? It keeps me going. Figure out what lights you up, right? So I went to the dollar store and I got a bunch of index cards and I wrote down all kinds of messages. When you go through narcissistic abuse, you have to tune into your inner child, okay? Each and every one of us has a hurting, broken inner child that is wounded, okay? And that is what the narcissist is feeding on. Whether you never got love, you never got validation, whatever it is that you didn't get as a kid, okay? We take with us as adults, right? We have these open wounds, and the narcissists, man, they freaking see that and they target after it. So if you were to go back to your younger self, your inner child, and write things to her. Write those things down on an index card, okay? Make them nice and short and sweet, or make a paragraph, whatever freaking floats your boat. On days where you feel like going back to that piece of shit and you're second guessing and doubting yourself, your worth, your value, what it is that you truly have to offer, which is freaking amazing and beautiful. Remember, that's why you were targeted. Go back and read those index cards, okay? The other thing that I did is I wrote out a list of all the painful things this person did to me. So whenever I started to have that inkling that I felt alone and I wanted to go back, let me just send them a text, just see how you're doing, or do you still love me, or whatever. If you write out a very detailed list, and this is part of what happens when you go through PTSD, you forget stuff, right? This will help you remember. Write out a very detailed list of every shitty, painful thing this person did to you, okay? When you feel like going back to them and you start second guessing, maybe he's not a narcissist, maybe, do I need to do that again? You can't change him, he's a narcissist, okay? When you feel that inside, go back and read that list. Read that list to yourself. Remember, the mask came off. You saw who they really were. Read the freaking paper. He did this. Drill it into your freaking head, okay? Drill it into your head. Talking about trauma bonds here, how to break them. It's not a matter of remembering the pain. It's remembering who he really is, because as you're going through these trauma bonds, we want to tell ourselves, but remember when? But remember, no, it was a show. It was a freaking show to constantly keep you hooked, okay? What are some other things that I did? Meditation, I found meditation was huge. Absolutely freaking huge. Because and I know meditation for a lot of people feel like they suck at it. It is something that you gotta keep going, right? It doesn't happen the first, second, fifth, sixth, 10th time you try it. But the whole point of meditation is for you to get out of here so you can get in tune with here, right? When you're tuned into here, you grow, you come to life. You can think clearly, you feel clearly, you discover your soul. Your intuition starts getting stronger. You know, we all had red flags. We all freaking ignored them and made excuses because he's either hot or he's good in bed or he does this or he does that. Whatever, remember? It was a hook. It was all a freaking hook. It wasn't real. Meditation was huge. Tuning into, I refer to it as spirit because that's what I do. Your higher power. Whether you're someone who feels the call to go to church or read the Bible, you have to find your source, your belief system that is outside of you, okay? Because as we're going through trying to break these trauma bonds, sometimes we don't have the strength. We need outside strength, right? We need outside guidance. We need outside hope, which is one of the reasons why I'm on here doing this. Let me be your outside hope for a minute, right? Find whatever it is that your belief system is and immerse yourself into that. Go freaking swimming in it and have a bath in it and allow it to ignite you and allow yourself to grow. Grow into the person that you were born to freaking be. What the narcissist saw in you that you didn't see in yourself, right? Because he didn't want you to see it. Don't want you to grow. Don't want you to shine. You can't be anything better than him. Oh, God forbid, right? What other notes do I have here? We were talking about the trauma bonds. I gave you some different ideas. Journal, man, I went and got myself a 5 freaking subject notebook, right? And I had one subject that was my own internal feelings. I had another subject that was all the shit that he did. I had another subject that was all, because after I discarded him, someone who I thought was a friend, one of his friends, raped me. Imagine that. You're trying to heal from this shit and his best friend freaking rapes you when you're drunk. If that won't put you over the freaking edge, right? Someone that you know and trusted. Another person. It's like you're trying to rebuild yourself, right? You're trying to heal. You're trying to get stronger. And then that shit comes in and just tears it all the freak down and you got to start over. The way I look at things, when shit is happening and you're getting tore down, it's not happening to you. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. It's happening for you. Okay. So the way I looked at this whole rape thing was the way I was rebuilding myself. I wasn't rebuilding myself the right way. I wasn't rebuilding myself the way my soul was designed to be built and lived, right? Because I was still stuck in whatever the hell I was stuck in. I don't know. I wasn't tuned into me. I didn't discover myself yet. So when the rape came in, and the rape happened, I want to say 6 months, if that, after this. So as I felt like I was just breaking the trauma bonds and getting happy and going out and enjoying myself, talk about freaking going back into trauma mode and triggers, right? Self-destructive, self-sabotaging behaviors. I looked at it like, all right, the way I was rebuilding myself, I wasn't building my house and my foundation correctly the first time around. That trauma set me back to the drawing board, right? And what I learned through that was not only freaking how strong I am. At this point, I don't think there's every single person on this page here, you survived this shit and you're channeling your pain as rocket fuel to your success. You're freaking golden. You're on the road to your ultimate, happiest, healthiest life person, purpose, passionate, fulfilled, freaking everything, right? So evaluate your foundation. What are your belief systems? I had to go through and do what's called shadow work, or, even doing like healing your inner child. Go back and evaluate what parts of your life as a kid that you picked up programmed you to not only attract this kind of stuff, but freaking tolerate it. Just because you can take a licking and keep on freaking ticking does not mean you have to stay and take those lickings. Okay? No. Just because you can take it and you're wired for it and you're strong enough to keep freaking going does not mean that you have to stay and continue to take it. Okay? I don't know. I feel like I can talk and freaking talk. And this is making me feel so effing good to be able to share this stuff with you, right? Because there ain't nobody else. This group saved my freaking life last year. When I felt like I had nobody, and I mean nobody, the narcissist that I divorced, he took my kids. He took my effing kids. My kids watched this man choke me. Somehow he manipulated all of them. I left my family because I was having an affair. I freaking left the house because my life was threatened. But this is how freaking good they are. This is how good they are. My kids haven't talked to me in 5 years. Because they believe that guy, right? So if you're feeling alone, my family, I got no freaking family. This group was my family. This group right freaking here and a select 3 or 4 people were my family last year. Reading their stories and hearing the things that they were doing and, where they were at in their journey gave me hope. It made me feel like, okay, if they could do it, I can do it. Because I had nobody to talk to. Nobody. I had no support system. None. I didn't have any love. I couldn't, you're all alone. You're all freaking alone. And none of your friends are going to get it because they haven't experienced it. So, yeah. Okay. The other thing here on my list. Understand and know you will never be the same again. Okay? The person that you were then, that maybe you're still struggling to become right now, you have to shed the old you, okay? Because the old you was programmed and manipulated and brainwashed, okay? When you go in and heal yourself, give yourself all the love, care, time, attention, everything it is that you need, everything you gave that POS, give it to yourself. I shit you not. Some of the things that I do, because I'm normal, I miss being in bed and cuddling with somebody, right? I'm going to sound crazy here, but I don't care. It freaking works. and I can share it with you guys because, hey, if it helps me, it might help you too. I will prop up pillows on the other side of the bed, and I will lay on the pillow and I will freaking talk to the pillow. Remember how I was telling you, you didn't fall in love with him, you fell in love with the mirror version of yourself, right? So I do these mirroring techniques. I will cuddle with my pillow, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll cuddle with my pillow and I'll be like, hi honey, how are you? I'll talk to myself like there's somebody freaking there, right? But whatever, if it freaking works, it works. I'll prop up that pillow and I'll put my back against it, and I'll put my own arm around myself, and I will hug myself, and I will look over my shoulder, and I will be like, you know what? I love you so much. You're so freaking awesome. I'm so happy you're here. I love waking up to you every day. But remember, you fell in love with the mirror version of yourself, right? I also believe here that this is helping me because I've done so much freaking internal work on myself, that it's helping me manifest my real match. I really thought this guy was my twin flame, right? Yeah. But then I realized what the false twin flame was. It's a freaking narcissist, right? So apparently, when you meet a narcissist, that's prepping you. It's destroying you and knocking you down. Remember, I told you, this is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you so you can be stronger, so you can have healthy boundaries, so you can discover your value and worth, so you can discover your talents, so you can eradicate and eliminate, have the strength to eradicate and eliminate everything that's that, so you can go forward. Okay, it's happening for you. You just have to properly channel the pain, and I swear to you, I shit you not, channel that pain into a purpose. A purpose. For a long time, I went to fitness kickboxing classes. I'm like, I have so much freaking rage inside me, and I'm not an angry person. I'm not. I don't like to fight. I don't, you know, I have no desire. I'm not like that. Maybe a fighter in my soul, but I don't like getting in confrontations and debates and fighting. I had so much pain and so much rage, so much hatred and anger in me. I'm like, I got to figure out a healthy way to channel all of it. Oh, my battery's getting low. So to channel all of this pain out of me. I'm telling you, go to your local fitness kickboxing class. You will get not only the body of your freaking dreams, right? You will get it's an entire total body workout. I wound up visualizing this person's face on that bag, and I punched the fuck out of it until I had nothing left of me to give. I got some strong ass, muscular, sexy as fuck arms out of that. I would kick the shit out of that bag. His face was on it. I lost 35 freaking pounds. I got a six pack. I came to friggin' life. It's one of the things I did. Find a healthy avenue to get all your pain and your aggression out, right? After that, once all that pain was out, I was like, oh my God, this is a healthy addiction. When you exercise and release that, it releases happy chemicals. I would go freaking beat the fuck out of a bag at 5:30 in the morning, and I'd go home and I'd be like, I'm freaking Superwoman. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to reorganize the whole closet. I'm going to clean out the basement and get rid of all of his shit. Man, you're naturally high on life. Power, 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 power. Find a way to channel your pain into healthy avenues instead of self-destructive ones. Now, I know in the beginning we all go through self-destructive stuff, right? It's normal, okay? Acknowledge your pain, acknowledge what happened, but don't allow yourself to stay there. What was I saying? You will never be the same, okay? This shit changes you. It changes you forever. It changes you to be the person you were born to be, okay? Tune into that. Don't give that POS the pleasure of changing you and forever destroying or preventing you from being happy, okay? Then that means they won. Do you really? Do you want to let them win? No. No. So yeah, the shit, it'll change you forever, but you have a choice. You, right here and now, have a choice. Are you going to allow that person to destroy your future and all of your happiness and abundance and everything that you deserve? Are you going to allow that person to kill you? Okay, this is your choice. At this point, you choose. You hold the pen. You hold the pen, not him. Okay? Are you going to lay down and be a victim and allow this person to devour your soul and suck everything out of you and forever destroy your future happiness? Right? Or are you going to fight like your life depends on it? Because it does. Your life literally freaking does depend on it. It's your choice. Your freaking choice. Let me see. What else do I have here? We went over some pretty good topics here. We went over if you've been discarded or dumped, if why you were targeted, that you can't help them. Oh, okay. Here's another one for you. The new supply. I don't know how much time I have left because my phone, I didn't bring a charger with me and I'm at the park. The new supply. I know when you've spent, okay, we all know the new supply, right? The new supply is not better than you, okay? The new supply is you. It was someone like you who was just as naive, okay? Who didn't know who he was, who was buying into all the same bullshit he fed you. The new supply is completely and totally innocent, okay? I felt pity for the new supply because I'm like, man, this girl has no freaking idea what he's going to do to her. There's a pattern. They have a destructive pattern, a destructive trail that follows them, okay? Everything he put you through and did to you, he's going to do to her. Feel sorry for her. Don't hate her, okay? Because in all actuality, she's probably believing all the shit that he said. Oh, my ex is crazy. She was controlling. She was this. She was that. You know why they tell everybody you're like that? So you and the other girls don't chit-chat and compare stories, because then his cover's blown, right? The new supply isn't better than you. The new supply, I guarantee you, is just as loving and as sweet and as empathetic as you are, okay? She's a victim here. She just hasn't experienced it yet. Back off. Don't try and warn her again, because all you're going to do by trying to warn her is reinforce the smear campaign. Look at her. She's freaking crazy. She won't let me move on. She's addicted to me. She's this. She's that. You can't. As much as it hurts and as much as you want to warn the new supply, take it as a freaking blessing, because all of his attention and his abuse is going to be directed at somebody else. Take it as a vacation. He's got a new supply. Oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Or however they do that. I don't know. Let him go. Let him be preoccupied, because then you're not going to be taken and tolerating and getting the hits no more, okay? The new supply is not better than you. She's just like you, okay? Being that empathetic person. She's just blind by the charm, exactly like you were, okay? He will eventually do to her what he did to you. I guarantee it, okay? Don't hate on her. Don't warn her. She won't believe you. She won't believe you. You're going to look like a crazy person. Think about it. When you met the narc, right? He was so beautiful and caring and kind, and whatever it was that he did, that how he mirrored you. Remember, you fell in love with a mirror version of you. You didn't fall in love with him. She's going through it too, and she's eating it up like freaking cake, because who the freak wouldn't eat that up? Everybody wants to be loved. I know for a long time I felt so freaking stupid for falling for it. But you know what? We're all human. We all want to be loved. We all want to be loved the way that we give love. And when someone offers that to you and you're hungry for love, guess what? You're going to freaking eat it, and you're going to roll in it, and you're going to freaking bake it and recycle it and do it again. Okay? Don't feel stupid. Please do not feel stupid. Okay? But yeah, the new supply, she won't believe you. Take it as a vacation. He's got somebody else new to torture. She's eventually going to get it to her too, and then maybe at some point she'll reach out to you. I don't freaking know. But don't hate on the new supply, okay? Because she's just the next victim. She's the next victim. That's it. What else do I have here? The ex. You realize by now all the exes weren't psycho, right? They were all gaslit and experiencing what you're doing. And the reason why he told you they were all psycho is so you wouldn't talk and compare stories, okay? Because then their cover will be one. Yeah, I think that's what I got for you guys. I really, from the heart, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got so much value out of that. I hope anything that I shared with you is going to give you what it gave me so I can survive, so I can move forward. God, I hope and pray this touches your soul and it has given you some empowerment. I feel like I'm going to cry again. Yeah. Keep trucking on. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep healing. I know if you're still in that relationship, I know for me, I held on because I was scared. I was scared I couldn't survive on my own. I was scared I couldn't afford to do it. I was scared of fucking everything. I was scared I would lose my friends. It's sometimes the unknown is more terrifying than the norm. But when the norm is torture and pain and abuse, okay, it ain't good. It ain't freaking good. It ain't good. So I think my phone's gonna die. Yeah, but just don't feed into what they survive off of your reactions and your emotions. So if they're texting you, block them. Okay. Otherwise, if you're a glutton for punishment and you want to relive the pain, okay, then entertain it. But you have to block them. You have to go no contact. As hard as that freaking is, you are never going to heal as long as you're still entertaining and going back and forth and not having those firm boundaries. When they realize you have boundaries and you ain't going to tolerate their shit no more, they might go into a narcissistic rage. Yeah, I know mine did. I got whacked in the freaking face. But yeah, set those boundaries. If you're still in it and you're planning on leaving, get yourself a secret safety backup plan. Start saving some money. Reach out to your local women's shelter. I'm telling you, there's here where I live, you can get free therapy. Okay, you're gonna have to go to counseling. This shit will mess you up. It'll mess you up. Okay, if you don't unscramble and rip out all the wiring on how they because that's what they do. They program you. You have to rip out all of that wiring, and then you're left with nothing, and you're empty. Okay, it's a good thing. You're gonna feel sick for a while. It's gonna hurt, but you know what? You got the pen. Write it. Discover things about you. You will come to life. I shit you not. The biggest freaking blessing that marrying two narcissists and almost the third one did for me, it made me discover who the fuck I am. And I came to freaking life. I came to life in the most magical freaking way. So if you take anything from any of this, that is the purpose. That is why you met a narcissist, because you haven't come to life yet. You have not discovered who you are on a deep, intimate soul level. This is your opportunity. It's your choice. It's your freaking choice. So, yeah. I hear you, Christine. The brain's messed up. I get you. Oh, what was I saying? Therapy. If you don't have insurance, you can go. I contacted where I live here in Pennsylvania. It's called a Woman's Place. They helped me with going to court and filing the PFA, the Protection from Abuse Order, even though he didn't freaking listen to it, so I had to relocate. Yeah, a Woman's Place. If you have to make that first phone call. You do. You have to make the phone call. You might feel stupid. You might feel whatever. Forget it. Forget it. That was the hardest thing that I ever did, was making that one phone call, crying, feeling like a dumb freaking idiot. You're not a dumb freaking idiot, okay? You're not. You're not. You make that phone call, they'll go through like an intake process, and then you'll get therapy, and you will heal. You will understand the inner wirings of abuse and PTSD and what it does to you. You will understand what internally about you was broken, that inner child they were latching onto that needs to heal. That's how you're going to repel all these fuckers in the future, okay? You have to discover yourself and heal yourself and educate yourself. Not only heal, there's two parts to this. One is educating yourself on narcissists and how to spot them. This way, as you're going through your future, you'll be like, nope, cut you off. No, cut you off immediately, okay? And then the second part is being able to heal yourself, right? You have to heal yourself. You have to go in and heal those internal childhood wounds so you don't attract another one to you, okay? Break that freaking disgusting, regurgitating, parasitic, toxic freaking cycle, okay? Remove the tattoo that says I fall in love with assholes. I fall in love with drunks. I fall in love with whatever their issue was, okay? Permanently remove that tattoo that was branded on your freaking forehead that only those people can see. Okay. I'm like, I don't know how long I've been on here, but I feel like I gave a lot of value and a lot of what I have and a lot of what I learned and a lot of ideas and concepts and ways to help you out. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to jump on here in this group and give back everything that I've experienced, everything that helped me grow. I still have my shitty days. Don't get me freaking wrong. Don't get me wrong. I still do. I still have my moments where I go back and remember, remember when the one day we spent 4 hours in the kitchen and he was singing with me and he was singing to me and we danced in our pajamas in the kitchen. Oh my God, it was like freaking heaven. Remember our naked Sundays where every Sunday we would spend the day on the couch naked, just cuddling and watching TV? I go back there too. But you know what? I dance around my own freaking kitchen now. I hold on to the framing pole like it's a person, and I get my groove on like it's a freaking pole dance, right? I'll sit on my couch naked and cuddle with my freaking self. You could do all these same things by yourself, okay? I think I'm really going to shut up now because any minute my phone's going to die. Be a survivor, not a freaking victim. Make a choice right now. It's your choice. Your freaking choice. I hope you make the right one and it's you, okay? Love you guys. I'm sure I'll see you around in the group, okay? See you later.